After that, I pretended as though nothing had happened as I participated in student council work. But just as we were going home, you said you had 3 cats at your house, right, Sayaka? Took a raised 3 fingers. There was one extra cat that I didn't know I had. It's 2. Oh, right. Are they cute? Of course. We've had them since I was in elementary school, too. Though they seem to have grown more attached to me over the years, they would still run if I tried to seek them out. But that fickleness was another part of what made them so wonderful. I wish I had cats. I didn't know what had happened that day, but it seemed Tuko had a craving for cat contact. In that case, my mouth started to open, but I couldn't say it and stopped. Still unable to say it, I reached the gate and we parted like usual. As I walked home alongside my elongated shadow, my regret followed me, clinging to my back. If only I'd asked Tuko if she wanted to come see my cats, we might have gotten slightly closer. But that regret didn't last long. That night, while I was sending messages back and forth with Tuko, the tortoiseshell cat came into the room. He must have been in a good mood, since it walked around my chair, and then nestled up to my legs. As I pet it, I impulsively decided to take a picture and send it to Tuko. It took a moment for her to reply. Can I come and pet it? Huh? To my house? I replied. Where else will I see it? It wasn't as though I could scoop up 2 cats and meet her outside. But Tuko coming to my house, all kinds of fears and hopes crashed up against me like a wall. All right. My answer was firm as a rock. Then I realized a little late that we weren't on a call, so it wasn't as though she could actually hear me. I suppose I have to admit that I was nervous. I texted her back the same words. Then how about tomorrow? That's so soon. Of course, she still couldn't hear my voice. The following day, I waited for Tuko in front of the train station. I no longer had a reason to ride a train, so I hadn't gone to the station since junior high. I couldn't help worrying about whether I would run into a certain person, although it seemed unlikely, since this was the weekend. In the end, Tuko was the one to appear first, so my anxiety had been needless. When Tuko saw the front of my house, after I led the way there, she murmured, Oh, ah. Was she that impressed? It seemed she was. By the gate, the wall, and also the garden. Is it really that unusual? It is. Oh, but you were right. The garden really does look like the area around the student council room. It's amazing that it's here in the normal house. When Tuko stared up in wonder at the tops of the trees, I let out a chuckle. As we stood there, my grandmother emerged from the house and passed by us. She looked at Tuko beside me. One of your friends? Yeah. Hello, I'm Nanami Tuko. When Tuko greeted her, my grandmother looked at Tuko with narrowed eyes and then gave a slight nod. You be good to my granddaughter now, she said in a lieu of greeting and went through the gate. Watching her leave, Tuko asked me, That was your grandmother, right? Yeah, on my father's side. She's really dignified. She certainly is, though her posture used to be even more proper than it is now. My grandmother, whose back had always been beautifully straight, had inevitably been transformed by time. There was nothing good or bad about such changes. It was just the way things were. Even when we went into the house, Toko didn't stop oohing and eyeing. She was even impressed by the walls and the hallway. When I led her to my room, she exclaimed, "Oh! Ah! Oh!" with an extra "oh" for good measure. Which would you prefer first? The tea or the cats? The cats, please. Toko's reply was immediate. Got it. I left Toko in my room and went into the hallway. There wasn't anything in my room that would be cause for concern if Toko found it, was there? I felt a little anxious. I went around to anywhere I thought that the cats might be while my grandmother wasn't at home, and eventually found the piebald. This one ought to do, I thought, picking it up. The piebald cat must have still been half asleep, since its reactions were so slow. When I re-entered the room with the cat in my arms, Toko turned away from looking over the bookshelf and brightened. The bookshelf. A chill went down my back. She had probably seen the books in the corner that I didn't actually care for. I didn't think she could guess at anything just by seeing them, but I wasn't sure. This was Toko, after all, and I didn't want Toko to know about Senpai.